And we're off! Welcome to the 52nd episode of the Brave News channel. I am your host, Shali, and we're here with the amazing, the incomparable Mr. Rizky. Say hello, Rizky.
Hello, everyone.
And it is 2020 by now, probably. I'm not entirely sure when we're going to be releasing the video, but it's probably going to be like maybe the first week of January, I'm guessing. So, Happy New Year, everyone! Welcome to 2020. It is the future, Olympics and all that good stuff happening around the world. Celebration. Hopefully this is a good year for everyone. I'm hoping that it's a great year for Brave Frontier. So, Rizky, do you have any information that's going to tell us just, what kind of an amazing start we can expect from Brave Frontier Global for 2020?
All right. So as usual, Brave Frontier is always celebrating a new year, and this time around we are not giving any less. And this time we have holiday giveaway that consists of like various rewards. If you log in between the January 1st until January 14th, you will get 20 times Brave Insignia tokens.
Nice.
Oh, that's really good, man, because you don't have to summon 20 times and you will get that tokens. 20 times Exalted tokens, 20 times Elementum tomes, and 20 times Geminis tomes as well. So everything is about 20.
Okay, 2020, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And following up with the login campaign itself, I think in the last BNC we did mention about a New Year unit that was not ready for preview.
Yes.
Remember? Yep.
Yes, I said he's on the banner. Unfortunately, we don't have the visual works for him just yet. But guess what? We have Vohu for you today.
Whoa.
And I absolutely love Vohu's design. It's so bohemian. You know what I mean? Like he looks like a really powerful gypsy of some kind. And I really just love his... What would you call this? Yeah, I just call it like bohemian style, like the cloak and the feathers and a lot of like golden jewelry. Looks really cool. But this is one of the Yazata, like our mighty who we introduced in the last BNC. And he's part of the same culture as our mighty, and people kind of don't give him as much credit as Armighty for the job that he does, because his job has a lot to do with demon slaying and the darker side of things, where the Yazata, like people, they want to stay in the light, right? The darkness is bad, the light is good, so stay as close to the light as possible. But if there's not somebody watching over the darkness and seeing, what is really going on in there, how can you ever be sure that you are safe, or that, the darkness is not planning something, to get the light or to destroy the light or whatever? But that's Vohu's role. He volunteered himself to walk that fine line between, here lies the light, here lies the darkness. It is too dangerous for anybody else. It is too big a burden for anybody else to take on this task. So I just take it upon myself to walk this thin line in order to protect my people. So he deserves more credit than he's given.
Right.
Give some credit to Vohu too. Darkness is not... It's not always like horrible, and it's not always evil, and you have to like just be able to recognize what in the darkness is like harmful and what is not, and that's Vohu's job basically. So, what do you think of this unit's design, Rizky?
I think the description that you mentioned earlier, like give him the impression of kind of like a warrior. Even though his effect, like is darkness, it doesn't always mean that he's bad. He's actually those kind of like using the power of darkness to fight the demons kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I really like the simple design, and those bows, I missed it a little bit because I can't really see the string. But the bows is very cool, and I feel that you can also use the bows to like, I don't know, like fight or something, like a blade.
Right.
Like a double blade.
I mean, it's sharp enough.
Bows, yeah.
It looks like you can really stab somebody with that bow. So, who knows how he's going to use it. It's going to be fun to see him in action. And again, sometimes the darkness can be your ally as well, if you know how to use it, which Vohu does. So looking forward to him joining us here in the new year of 2020. Looks really cool. I enjoy his design very much. But we do have more content coming up. Rizky, do you want to take it away?
Yep. All right, so we have another Battles of Brave Frontier 2 content going to be delivered this January, and you have this particular dungeon called the Warmonger. This dungeon will feature the Warmonger Z. Yeah, so we have you have like you're going to face him in two different difficulties. One is going to be a normal mode, which is upon the first clear you will get the Omni Karl. Okay, sounds familiar, huh? And the other one will be the hard mode, where you can actually farm for materials to craft Karl's sphere and earn exalted tokens.
Nice.
So yeah, as we mentioned, there will be two more characters going to be introduced from the timeline or the story of Brave Frontier 2, which I will pass it to Shali. Then,
now, the first one that we're going to introduce here today is my most absolute favorite main character in all of Brave Frontier, and that is the incomparable demon of the arena, Miss Seria. Now, why is Seria amazing? Do we really have to ask? Is this something that you guys have not learned already by playing the game? Seria is #1 waifu in Brave Frontier for life. Like, that is not debatable for me. I know there's a lot of like Paris like people out there. I know Rizky's a Paris person probably. But I'm Seria like all the way from the very beginning. From the moment that I met her in the storyline, I was like, this is my waifu. This one right there. And Seria has not stopped becoming even better, you know, in the timeline of Brave Frontier 2. She has become so powerful and so greatly admired throughout the whole land of Elgaia that she's like one of the most recognized female like summoners in all of the land. Like basically only comparable to maybe Paris. And she is so popular as a fighter and as a warrior and so respected that a lot of people in the Demon Slayers will claim to be her apprentice because they want to be recognized as like part of like her team. But there's so many of them, they could actually like make their own Demon Slayer squad, like within the actual Demon Slayers, because that's how many people just want to be under the great Master Seria, who, you know, even after retirement, you know, she retired from competitions, she wasn't doing the arena anymore. Sometimes now and then she'll go and do a special event to like wow the crowds and like teach the kids, you know, how it's really done. And she just completely just kicks everyone's ass. So, you know, what is not to love about Miss Seria? And look, her beautiful black flowing hair. She's got this amazing armor. And mind you, this is armor that actually like covers her body from harm. Not, you know, some other armor that we see that's like just like a top and like your belly's completely exposed. Like somebody's gonna stab you through that, okay? That's not real armor. Let's get real here. She's got her crown, she's got armor up and down. That sword is looking absolutely beautiful. She's got this beautiful red, you know, cape, mantle going out the back, and the flames, of course, Seria's element being fire. I missed her, man. I really missed her. I'm glad she's back. What do you think, Rizky?
How could she not miss her? Like this is literally the first tsundere waifus in the game, and like yeah, I think it's really going to be very exciting to see like more about the backstory of her when we introduce the unit itself. I'll just say like I think you cover almost everything already about how she clothes, how her pose and attack, and her kind of like her traits like that impress people and everything. So I'm just really like looking forward to it for her to come into the Brave Frontier.
Yes,
level.
for sure. Yeah. So we mentioned earlier that Karl will come as a dungeon reward. Do we know how Seria is coming to the game? Like, do we have
the summon unit?
Oh, she's summoned.
Yeah,
okay, so you have to go to the summon gate and spend gems to get her. I spent so many gems on Paris and I didn't get her. And then I was really angry because then I didn't have enough gems for the Samurai Champloo collaboration. And then I spent like literally all of my gems for Samurai Champloo and I didn't get Mugen and I didn't get Jin. And now I am gemless and now Seria is coming. This is an issue, Rizky. This is an issue. I'm legit angry, but let's go to Karl.
Okay, I mean, I'm having a similar issue as well.
I know. I think we can all relate. It's just one of those summoner things, you know, like you never know what's coming up next. So you're like, now's my chance to get this particular unit, and you know, it's a unit I'm nostalgic about, you know, whether you're nostalgic about this unit because they're from Brave Frontier, or you're nostalgic about them because they're from, you know, an anime that you very much love and used to watch like all the time. You know, Brave Frontier tugging at the heartstrings, you spend all those gems and then you don't have gems for the next one, man. It's rough out here. The struggle is real. But let's go to Karl, who's going to be the reward of that dungeon that we were just talking about with Zad in it.
Right,
now, Karl is your good old buddy from way back in the day. You know, he was like the only friend that you really had, and he taught you like many things. I think he taught you how to make like an antidote. Or maybe it was Seria who helped you with the antidote to give it to Karl, because maybe Karl was the sick one. My memory is a little bit fuzzy because this was like 5+ years ago that you played that part in the game. But Karl has become an amazing individual. He's not only the leader of the Summoners of Old, he's the leader of Summoners Hall, period. He's the most powerful person in all of Elgaia. And not just because of his political position, but also because of just how strong he is. Because you have to remember that Karl is half demon, and that demon blood is not like it has calmed down over the years. If anything, it has gotten stronger. So with the passage of time, even though he doesn't see battle very often anymore because he has so many things to take care of, you know, politically because of his position, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's lost his touch. Like, he's still a very good fighter, and if anybody were to ever challenge him, I think they would just probably die on the spot, because there's just no way to take on Karl. I'm sure he made Gradens proud, you know, old Gra.
Yeah,
Grandpa. Oh, Grandpa, yeah. So how are you feeling with Mr. Karl coming back?
I think he looks a lot more like, I don't know, cool and calm this time around. Like, I mean, he used to be like your buddy, your friend kind of thing, like asking me for our help and everything. But he, well, I guess in general, a lot of the Brave Frontier original character that when they go into the Brave Frontier 2 timeline, they gotten more like mature. Even the Gina one.
Yes.
They gotten a lot more mature and I don't know, like. Influential, I would say.
Of course, yes. I mean, in Brave Frontier, we were playing with these characters, we were learning the story of these characters, and we saw them grow into these like amazing people and grow as summoners because they had a very like special set of skills, you know. I know that's a meme, but I'm serious. Like they really do have special sets of skills that sets them apart from other summoners, and they just really came into the light and they proved themselves. And so the summoners of old felt like they could entrust Summoners Hall to these people because they were the future. And sure enough, you know, come the timeline of Brave Frontier 2, they are the ones running Summoners Hall, and they're the ones that everybody looks up to as, you know, role models for guidance, etc. So, you know, it feels good. Like you grew up with these people, and now they're like super important, and you're like, man, I'm proud of you. Like you did a good job.
It's kind of like beyond just fighting, fighting the gods and fighting the evil gods at that time. You know, like the story doesn't end there. Like they just continue to become, you know, like better, like more important person in the universe of Brave Frontier. So that's actually a kind of like an achievement, I think.
Yes, of course, yeah. So they should be celebrated. I am very excited to have both Seria and Karl, you know, back in Brave Frontier in a whole new light, super grown up, super mature. They're very important people now. So look forward to them coming very, very soon. Now we do have a little bit more content. Risky, can I pass it off to you?
Alright, so the next content will be the Vortex Arena Season 5 Nautical Showdown preview. So in the past few weeks, there was like a developer's diary explaining about the upcoming Vortex Arena, you know, rule changes and everything. By the time of this video release, we should have done the fire one. So we are going to do a preview for the water.
Okay.
So the first thing that there will be adjustment of daily and overall rank rewards, and there will be exclusive spheres in overall rank rewards. For rank 1 to 1,500, there will be horses calm, and 1,501 to 6,000 will be winds well. And of course, the event bazaar, the reward from the previous Vortex arena will be added as well.
Okay.
So as you can see, there are two items that resemble something related to horse, but
I think it's the belt.
The belt,
Yeah,
the belt
I think it's a belt that goes around. A lot of the time we get like hats, and I think last time we got nunchucks, right? I think. Yeah, I mean, we get lots of different types of spheres, but I think these are belts.
Yeah. So looking at this, I can't really tell how the character looks like, but maybe you want to introduce the character, Shelly?
Yes, so the reason why I'm saying this is a belt is because I know that he's wearing this belt, but let's just take a look at the visual for Kahiki, who's going to be, the animal of the zodiac that we know as a horse, He's going to be water element to match with the Vortex arena. And now Kahiki has a very interesting story because obviously horses are known for, their love of running in open fields and, in the wind in their hair and all that beautiful imagery that you think about when you see a horse. And you kind of get this really big spirit of freedom from a horse. Like they just live their life and they run as fast as they can whenever they can. Whenever they want. But the thing is that when Emperor Yu organized the competition between all of the animals of the zodiac, Kahiki actually ended up in an island. So he was not surrounded by open fields and grass everywhere. It was just sand, and the ocean. And obviously, I mean, a horse can cross a river, but they can't really run in the ocean. So he was just like, oh my God, this place is horrible. What am I gonna do? I can't run, I can't be free here. But that's when he discovered that the people who were native to the island were into a little sport called surfing. And instead of trying to tame what was on the land, they decided to tame what was on the ocean and be free in the ocean and experience that feeling of just being able to do anything on the ocean itself by using their surfboards, which in this particular island, I guess technology is a little bit more advanced, and so they make the surfboards out of different metals and things like that. So when Kahiki saw this, he was like, oh my God, I should try that because, it's basically what I'm looking for. It's just a different way of going about it. And so he decided to try surfing. He loved it. He absolutely gets it, he's like, I got you. I see why you feel so free out here in the ocean. And that's how Kahiki became Surfing Kahiki, which is, I don't think, a combination that has ever been seen before. A surfing horse is a new one, I have to say. I've never would have imagined in my entire life. But I mean, he's so different from everything that we've ever seen in Brave Frontier, I feel like. Right. What do you think, Risky?
I just have one comment though. I mean, he's literally a sea horse.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I like that joke, Risky. That was a good one. And he's a seahorse. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, okay. First thing is that when you mentioned when I take a look at the unit without even looking at the the previous slide, I was like, what creature is this? Is this supposed to be which creature from Zodiac is he? But I found out that he's apparently the horse. And when you pointed out the flowing hair and everything, I said, okay, I got it now. Yeah,
it's that mane, the black, beautiful mane. Of course, horses come in very different colors, but I think probably one of the most recognizable combinations is the tan, body with the really jet black mane, hair, which I think is what Kahiki is trying to emulate here. That's just long, beautiful, flowing hair.
Right, and that weapon, I don't know, the surfboard that looks a little bit like a futuristic blade or great sword or something. It's just awesome. I think kudos to our artists and the designers who come out with this idea, because I think they probably run out of idea at one point of time because they have to somehow put a horse and water together. And there you go.
I mean, I'm sure that was a super huge challenge in itself. So again, props to the art team. It's not a combination that I have personally ever seen before, but I think it was very well executed, and I really love the way that his lore was written and how they tied those two concepts of, you know, like a normal horse and then living life free in the ocean as a surfer. Because I feel like really at the core, the feeling is the same. It's just wanting to be like free in harmony with like nature. And yeah, that is what both like surfing and like running in the field is about, I feel. So really looking forward to Kahiki joining us. I think he looks great, very refreshing design to add to Brave Frontier, I have to say.
All right.
Okay, well, now we have a little bit of exciting content for you guys that comes from a land not so far away, because we are going to start adding mythological entities to the Vortex. Coming late January, we can expect Yggdrasil and Frigg to arrive in the Vortex, but they're going to be very, very challenging. So make sure that you guys prepare yourselves against Yggdrasil and Frigg. And we can see a little bit of the artwork there, but we do have the actual unit artwork. So we're going to go here and take a little bit of a closer look. Now, this is the Yggdrasil unit itself. And now Yggdrasil is a legendary tree. It appears in a lot of folklore, but it's basically known as the tree of life. And in this case, I think this is tied to the, what is the word that I'm looking for? From Brave Frontier RPG, they had the series of like the Valkyries and the Valhalla, I guess the Nordic gods.
Yeah,
and Yggdrasil is part of that lore. Yggdrasil is kind of like the tree that binds many worlds together, because its roots just kind of extend to many places, and it acts like a bridge almost between all of those worlds. And although Yggdrasil doesn't really have a gender itself, because it's a tree, this particular manifestation of Yggdrasil has chosen a female form, and it seems to, on top of that, also be corrupted by some strange force. Nobody knows what happened to Yggdrasil to become corrupted or to want to take this form. So we're just going to have to play whatever dungeon comes and see how this came to be, because I honestly have no idea of what happened to Yggdrasil. As far as Frigg goes, I believe Frigg is one of the Valkyries from Brave Frontier RPG. However, I don't believe we have a visual for her today, so that would be later on. Please keep an eye out for her, as she should be coming sometime very, very soon. All right, I'm passing it back over to you, Rizky.
All right. So the last piece of content we are having now is the upcoming episodic Grand Quest, which is Grand Quest X6. This has been mentioned as well in the dev diary, I believe, which by the time of the release of this video should have been announced to the player. But we are just basically summarizing what are the upcoming things related to this Grand Quest X6, the Echoing Void. So players can uncover the different branches of time over a total of 12 episodes released in a weekly format.
Nice.
Wow, so there is always a new story, exciting things happening every week. Second is each week, watch the map evolve and reveal key places in an alternate Elysia with never before seen characters, which is the one that you see on the right, probably.
Yes, who's that? I don't know.
Who is that? Very interesting. And the other one will be you can also get rewards like unit-specific ES spheres, gems, enhancement materials, and more. So, do you want to introduce the character on the right, shall we?
Sure. Let's get right to it, because I believe she's a really cool-looking character. Her name is Miriam. Miriam is going to be a thunder unit, and Miriam is from Elysia. Again, this alternate timeline is based in the world of Elysia, where Xenon and Esti are from. And Miriam is half Alethi and half Elysian, which is a very rare mix of cultures, because in Elysia, people are not very fond of the Alethi, because the Alethi are very magic prone people, and their magic is very powerful, and unfortunately some of these Alethi people have chosen to use their magical powers for bad things. They've become like rogues or like, you know, dark magicians trying to like ruin things. And it gives the Alethi a bad name, even though they're not all bad people. So Elysian people are kind of like apprehensive about them. And of course they were apprehensive about Miriam because she's half Alethi and half Elysian. So despite all of this, Miriam is a very gifted warrior. She joined the military service in Elysia, just like her father. And she became very adept at using her magic powers to emphasize or to make, what is the word that I'm looking for? To enhance, that's the word I'm looking for. To enhance her actual physical prowess. So she's using her magic to amplify what she can actually do physically on the battlefield, which is not something that had been previously very commonly been done in Elysia. So people started looking at her with different eyes, like, wow, maybe she does have something to offer us. Maybe she can be useful. Maybe she's not such a bad person after all. And so, of course, being, you know, such a gifted person, people started recognizing her, and she started rising up the ranks. And as she did that, she came to, you know people a little bit higher than I guess she would have otherwise known, and stuff happens. I don't want to give all of it away. Just know that Miriam worked very, very hard, and she earned her place, and once she did, she got to meet some very important and influential people that perhaps changed her life and the lives of everyone in Elysia forever, for the rest of time. So as far as her design, I absolutely love her hair. I think her hair is very, very unique. I love that she, although being a very, very pretty lady, has like that really cool scar that goes across her face that lets you know, like, I've been in battle. I've proven myself. I'm a survivor. Don't mess with me.
So, something like that.
Yeah, I get that
exactly
vibe.
On the spot.
I get that vibe from her, which I very much like. That's my kind of girl, you know what I'm saying? So, Risky, what do you think of her design?
I mean, I like her simple design, and like how you said, I think the scar and the hair is like something that really a unique trait of her. The only thing I wanted to like know is that, like, you know, Altered Destinies is usually the characters who, you know, like another form of existing character, but I'm trying to recall and trying to find which character is she supposed to be in the past, or what other characters?
I think she's a brand new character.
Oh.
That is attached to an existing character. But I'm not going to tell you who that is or how, because I don't want to spoil it. So one of the things about the alternate timelines that you guys have to take into account is that sometimes it will be the reimagined version of an already existing character or unit that is being reintroduced, while other times we are supplementing other characters and other, you know, parts of the story in order to make the timeline make a little bit more sense. And I think Miriam is the latter. Miriam is brand new, but because she's coming in and giving her own side of the story, then the entire story can be complete. It can be whole.
I see.
At least that's my understanding of it. So, yes.
Oh. Okay, excited to see which characters is related to.
Yes, I mean, it's a very fun story. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch that develop, because we didn't really get much of an explanation about that before in the past. So I'm also looking forward to that as well. But that is it for all of the new content that you guys can be expecting on January. Please stick around for what's to come next. Okay, and now we have a special announcement from Alim, who wanted to pass you guys this information. But there is actually a brand new game that is coming out based on Brave Frontiers that's called Brave Frontier Heroes. And now Brave Frontier Heroes is being made by a company called My Crypto Heroes, who are the makers of the most popular blockchain game in the world. And they're releasing a new project soon that, again, is based on the Brave Frontier world and Brave Frontier characters. So they're going to be mixing their own original MCH, My Crypto Heroes Plus system with world-renowned contents of Brave Frontier. Of course, Brave Frontier is known around the world because we're global. And they will be the game is about how to describe it? Using Brave Frontier heroes as a type of digital asset that can be solely yours. So what does that mean? An example of a digital asset would be like stocks, for example. So when you buy stock, after some time, depending on the company's like worth, your stock will go up or it will go down, and then that will determine the value of your digital asset. The way that it works in Brave Frontier Heroes, if I'm not mistaken, is that the value is determined by the rarity of the unit that is involved. So not only is there like a rarity level for units, but I believe there's also probably a limit on the quantity of units. So with the original Brave Frontier as it exists now, for example, I can have a Paris, you can have a Paris, like 1,000 people in the whole entire world can have a Paris, and then, you know, that's fine, like anybody can use it. But as a digital asset in this particular game, there might be just one Paris, like a single one that exists in the whole entire game, and only one person who is playing the game can own her and say, I have a Paris. And if she's the only one and her rarity is very high, then that means that her value will increase because of that. So it's more about kind of like trading around and seeing like, well, you know, you have this very rare unit that's very valuable and I really want it because it's one of my favorite units, so I'm willing to trade you that for the one that I have. If you want it, it's worth this much. It's that kind of thing. That's what a blockchain game is, or what, or how it has been explained to me. Because I have to confess to you that I've never played a blockchain game. I'm not very good at numbers. I don't like math. I am terrible at it, so I don't think I would do well in a game like this. But maybe you do. Maybe you like it, or you are fascinated by the idea of being, you know, the person, the only person that has Paris in the entire game, because nobody else can actually get her because she's just a one unique digital asset. So if you are interested, or you just want to check it out and see, you know, what is a blockchain game, how could this be fun, how do you even play it, please go check out the official website, which is bravefrontierheroes.com, or go check out the official Twitter at BFH_global. This is all being done by producer Shun, or Shunpi, as we would say in Japanese, because P stands for producer.
Producer, yes.
Yeah, it's always something P. And in this occasion, it would be Shunpi. So it's not Takahashi-san. It's again, they're just borrowing the Brave Frontier name to put into this game to make it Brave Frontier Heroes. But it's not an extension of the actual like Brave Frontier story. There won't necessarily be any new like characters that are attached to Brave Frontier. It's just kind of like a fun side thing to do if you really love Brave Frontier and you think that it might be a cool idea to have units living as digital assets for like the end of time. So go check it out. Right now they're running a battle test. What they call a battle test is basically like a demo before the game is officially released globally. They will have English translations for a lot of the content so that you guys can play no matter where you find yourself in the world. And, you know, just give it a go and see if you enjoy it. Hopefully you do. And we'll be waiting to hear from you guys next time. See if you liked it or not. Leave something in the comments below to let us know.
Sure. What an interesting information in this era. Huh? Like a blockchain game just recently become popular and Brave Frontier is joining the so-called the trend.
Yeah.
It's very exciting to see.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the evolution of games as well, because to me this would not necessarily be like if you just told me about it, I wouldn't take it as a game. But there might be other people who see it as a very like entertaining way to spend their time, and so that is a game. If you're, you know, spending all this time entertaining yourself, it is a game. So I'm very excited to see how this develops and how it turns out. So we shall see. All right, now it's time for the Summoner's Corner, where you guys ask all the questions and then Risky gives you all of the answers. We're going to start with our first question here from Hugo Deleuze. I hope I said your name correctly. But Hugo asks, is it possible to import Brave Frontier RPG units like the Zodiac Champions to Brave Frontier Global, because those units were very much appreciated by the community?
Right, so the answer from the team is that we are currently selectively releasing Brave Frontier RPG units in 2020, mainly related to the Norse mythology one, like Yggdrasil, Frigg, and more. So, but unfortunately, we currently don't have any plans for Zodiac Badge because of the it's a multiple concern, but mainly it's because of rebalancing it to the different meta. Because when the unit was released in the Brave Frontier RPG version, it is a little bit more like on the older side. So it's quite hard for them to try to balance it for the current meta. So right now we have no plans yet.
Okay, but we'll see what other Brave Frontier RPG units end up joining the world of Brave Frontier Global. I'm always excited to see them in our game because they look so familiar, but at the same time, I don't know who they are. So it puts me in this weird space where I'm just like excited, but I don't really know why. So I like it when Brave Frontier RPG units make it over to Global. Okay, moving on to question number 2 by Aidan. Have you guys considered a switch of elements for Dichroma, the raid event?
So yeah, we actually have the plan to release our C7 Dichroma raid missions for the elements of fire, earth, water, and thunder in early 2020. So after we introduce those new elemental bosses, their schedule will be basically regulated like in any cycle. So yeah, there's a plan for that, and I hope you guys are like prepared for this new element combination.
All right, cool, excellent. Looking forward to that. And then the last question here is more of kind of like a fun question for us, which we don't get to do very often because we want to just like answer you guys' questions. But this is from JeMoJaKu, and he says, hello, Shali and Risky. Hello to you as well. I've been playing Brave Frontier for years, and I have a simple question for both of you. How many collaboration units do you guys have? Whether it be from like really recent collaborations or like super, long ago collaborations that happened a long time ago. And of course, he says to tell the team that he says hi or she says hi. So we will definitely do that. We will let them know that you said hello. We were counting our collaboration units. And I first counted 47 for me, but then I started recounting and I found like a couple more that I think I missed the first time around. So I want to say that I have at least 50. I think that's like a safe number, at least 50. One day I'll sit down and actually like count them like really diligently, like one by one, but at least 50 for sure. Risky, how many do you have?
Well, I have a little less than you. I'll have about 36, as far as I can remember, but I might miss here and there. But I do have it since all the way from demo until the recent Tokyo Ghoul. I didn't have chance to actually summon for the Samurai Champloo because simply I don't have enough gems anymore. To be very honest, I'm playing like most of probably our free-to-play players playing, like trying to farm, grind for gems and everything. So when sometimes it's kind of hard when you hit a collaboration and you run out of gems and you just have to like cry in the corner because you can't get the character.
That's what I was doing.
Like.
The whole Samurai Champloo collaboration, I was just crying in a corner. I think I got to like step, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but I think I got to like step 20, like 20 multiplier on the Mugen banner, and he still didn't come out. And like I used everything, and by the time that Jin had come out, I had like maybe like 3 gems left, and I couldn't even like summon. And so I was just like grinding for like summon ticks, and I was just like, please God, please, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I am bitter, I am salty, I am all sorts of angry. And then it makes me regret the other things that I did too, because I really wanted Paris, because obviously, as a fan of Brave Frontier, I want all of the main characters. So I went really hard for her too, and ended up not getting her. And then right after that, it was a Samurai Champloo collaboration. So I felt angry that I had spent my gems on Paris who didn't show up. But I was like, no, but it's fine because, you know, Mugen or Jin will show up. They didn't show up. So now I'm just angry in general.
Well, to me, I guess I'll just like, just save up for the collaboration, because I guess, I mean, in Brave Frontier, the probably the character that might not come back again is the collab character. And sometimes we just have to like, just wait for a chance for the normal character, like the existing character, like seasonal character, to come back, from time to time.
Exactly.
So to me myself, I prefer to save up for the collaboration.
See, that's
for the next
smart.
collaboration, probably.
It's very smart. I shouldn't have gone that hard for Paris. I should have just waited.
Yep.
But I got excited. She's one of the main Brave Frontier characters, and I just really wanted her in my team, and she refused me, and then Mugen and Jin refused me, so I feel very, very lonely and attacked as of recently. But that's okay. I've been getting a lot of newer units with the tickets, though, the tickets that we've been getting for logging in every day. I have been getting a bunch of really good stuff from that, so I don't really have anything to complain about. It's just that the units that I wanted didn't come out. But I did get, in the end, a lot of other good units that I'm excited to use. And yeah, I mean, I just have to leave all that behind. It's a new year. We're having a fresh start. It's 2020.
That's
just
right.
let all of that go. Release it. Calm yourself. Take a deep breath, and just know that brand new start, brand new beginning is upon us. And hopefully it's a really good one for our Brave Frontier Global, because we have a lot of exciting content coming for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for this year of Brave Frontier as well. We look forward to, communicating with you and talking with you and sharing all these things with you in this brand new year. And we will see you on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.